Right now at 10, a woman pleads not guilty to being an alleged member of an Eau Claire drug ring. And after years in the works, parking for UWL students may get a little easier next school year. Plus, a local high school cuts the ribbon on their new building.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Emily is off tonight. Crawford County authorities are asking for the public's help in finding a missing girl. The Crawford County Sheriff's Office has issued a missing endangered person alert for 13-year-old Isabella Vandenberg. Authorities say she left her home in Mount Sterling Monday night and has not been seen since. She is white, 5'4", with blonde, straight hair to her shoulders and hazel eyes. If you have any information on her whereabouts, call the Crawford County Sheriff's Office at that number on your screen. One alleged member of an Eau Claire drug ring pleading not guilty in county court today. Elena Sosa Ochoa is charged with 1 count each of conspiracy to commit possession with intent to deliver more than 40 grams of cocaine and threats to injure or accuse of a crime. According to the criminal complaint, Sosa Ochoa allegedly tried to help her son, Hector Jimenez Sosa, recover cocaine that he had sent to an ex-girlfriend's address. At her arraignment this morning, Sosa Ochoa pled not guilty to all charges. Her attorney also says he intends to file a motion to separate Sosa Ochoa's case from her co-defendants. She's currently being held on a $250,000 cash bond. Carbon monoxide exposure after a furnace malfunctioned at a Wisconsin school yesterday. The Crandon School District said a total of 39 people received medical care after suddenly becoming ill. Students and staff complained of lightheadedness, shortness of breath, slurred speech, and rapid heartbeat, prompting hazmat crews to be called to campus. The building houses elementary, middle, and high school students. 2 EMS workers also had to be treated for exposure. School was canceled today.
Well, we had a nice day to the work week. Once again, we had 60 degrees at La Crosse, mid-50s too, so quite mild. And even this evening's been quite mild as we approach St. Patrick's Day. Still in the 40s at both locations. Cloud cover is increasing, but all in all, not a bad evening. Cloud cover up to the north is starting to increase because we do have a front that's kind of outside the picture. It's up in northern Minnesota yet, but that'll be digging south overnight, and that'll increase the cloud cover, increase the wind, but also help to keep these temperatures up. Right now the winds are not too bad, around 10 miles per hour, but you notice up to the northwest they are starting to pick up a little bit more. So really, as we time it out, it's just the cloud cover increases, the winds turn around and also increase, but those temperatures just slowly fall down to the low 40s, upper 30s as that front begins to pass through. Right about 6 or 7 it'll pass through the area. There might be a shower here or there, but most areas will probably remain dry. Throughout the morning too, it's just going to be cloud cover and then a few breaks for La Crosse. We'll get back up to the mid to upper 40s, but notice the winds, 15 to 20. That's going to be the story going throughout the afternoon. Also, as in Eau Claire too, we'll also see that northwest wind start picking up. 44 probably about the high, and then they'll start falling in the afternoon. So later on, we're going to break down what it looks like for a cold, and I mean cold St. Patrick's Day. Monday's also cold, but we do have some warming coming for spring, which comes late on Tuesday.
All right, good news. And props to the Clover fireworks show as well. Love that. That's a nice touch. Thanks, Greg. Well, parking may become easier for UW La Crosse students next year after the La Crosse Common Council voted to rezone a parcel of land on 16th Street. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall joins us live in studio with those details. Jeremy.
Yeah, Ken, most students we talked to say they've had to park on neighborhood streets and walk to campus. UWL officials say the plan's been in the works for years, but stuck in park. Now, with city approval, it's finally in gear.
For Paige Berquist, parking at UWL is a pain.
Just struggle to find a spot in general in the mornings when going to school.
She says the campus doesn't have enough parking, and most days she's forced to park on the street. But starting in 2025, that could all change. This parking lot on the corner of 16th and Vine is slated to become a multi-story parking garage. UWL is moving forward with the project after La Crosse Common Council voted to rezone the parcel on Thursday.
I think there's a lot of cars on the streets, and a lot of my constituents don't like when students park on the streets because it creates congestion and there are potential safety issues there.
Which is another reason UWL officials are excited about the news.
It's also about UWL trying to be a good neighbor in the Grandview Emerson neighborhood and try to help handle our parking need on our own property without folks parking in front of neighboring residences.
The $20+ million parking garage will be located across from the Truman T. Lowe Center for the Arts, and money from parking fees will help pay for the project. Schumacher is happy it's finally getting underway.
It's unfortunate sometimes that we can't act more quickly, but a more thorough, planned out process usually ends up with a better product in the end.
Construction is expected to start within the month, with completion in 2025. For students, including Allie Nelson, it can't come soon enough.
Typically, I park actually right across West Ave. I've never been able to park on campus.
Schumacher says once the parking garage is finished, the next step is a new residence hall. Ken.
All right, Jeremy, thanks very much. Local energy cooperatives are disappointed a bipartisan bill on transmission lines didn't make it through the legislature. Republicans wrote a bill that gives local energy operators the right of first refusal for future transmission projects. The Midwest Regional Group MISO that oversees electric transmission is currently in the process of planning $20 billion worth of high voltage transmission projects that will be up for bidding. A right of first refusal law in Wisconsin would have given local groups like Dairyland Power Cooperative the first shot to build and maintain new projects that go through this area. Dairyland supports the bill because they say local co-ops are already in the best position to develop those new high-quality lines. Opponents of the bill say it would have restricted bidding competition. But Dairyland's executive VP says the company who bids the lowest on these projects isn't guaranteed to follow through on that promise.
The low bidder could come in and make a inappropriately low bid to win the project and then not be able to deliver at the bid price. And then, of course, to get the infrastructure built, you'll have to factor in what it's really going to cost, which then all get pushed back onto the local ratepayers.
Porth says without a ROFR law in place, these new line projects get caught in a lengthy federal bidding process, and out-of-state bidders could take away benefits for Wisconsin's utility consumers. Voters across Wisconsin will have to decide on two constitutional amendment proposals on the upcoming April 2nd ballot. Constitutional amendments in the state have to pass 2 consecutive sessions in the legislature before it's sent to the voters. The first that Republicans have passed will ask if there should be a ban on private donations and grants being used in election work. It's based on a 2020 report that Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg donated $350 million to a Chicago nonprofit, and some of that money was then shared with Wisconsin municipalities who used it to cover expenses for personal protective equipment and poll worker training in the 2020 elections. The second question asks, should only election officials designated by law be allowed to perform election-related tasks? Now, the League of Women Voters of Wisconsin say those amendments are rooted in disinformation. According to its website, the league says the First Amendment could lead to long lines at polls and longer waits for results. Milwaukee area senators also say reduced funding could mean some polling places come to a close. The progressive law firm says it's unclear how the Second Amendment would redefine current state law. That firm, Law Forward, says the state already has rigorous requirements for election officials, or typically known as poll workers. Poll workers, among other things in the state laws, have to be approved by a municipality from a list of nominees submitted by both major political parties. A Republican candidate for Wisconsin's U.S. Senate seat is pushing back against Democratic claims that he's out of touch. California bank owner Eric Hovde says he'll donate his Senate salary to a Wisconsin charity each year if he's elected. Hovde made the announcement in a new campaign ad where he says he can't be bought by special interest groups in Washington. He's also suggested spending millions of his own money to fund his campaign against incumbent Tammy Baldwin. Hovde is originally from Wisconsin but owns a California bank and a $7 million property in Laguna Beach. He last ran for Senate in 2012 in Wisconsin but lost the Republican primary to former Governor Tommy Thompson. Wisconsin swing voters blame former President Donald Trump for Congress's failure to pass a bipartisan bill that tightened border restrictions. That's according to a new report from Axios. That border bill died in Washington after Mr. Trump said he opposed it and wanted to campaign on the issue. Axios sat on a series of focus groups after President Biden's State of the Union address. More than half the voters in those groups who recognize themselves as independents said they were upset with Trump for blocking efforts to solve the border crisis. Most participants then told the panel moderators that they would choose Biden over Trump right now. Cooley Christian had a grand opening for their new high school today. The building was donated to the school a couple of years ago and has been under renovation since. They were able to renovate half the building for the high school and are set to renovate the other half in the coming years to be the middle school. Before the new school, all grades K through 12 were housed in the same building. The next step for Cooley Christian is to break ground on a gymnasium that they hope to have done in about a year. The La Crosse Community Theater has purchased a new building. In addition to the Weber Center, the La Crosse Community Theater now owns the First Church of Christ. For now, the plan is to use the space as a scene shop and rehearsal space, but eventually it may be home to smaller events. According to their executive director, this opens up opportunities for more productions at the Weber Center. First Church of Christ will still be congregating in the building. Speaking of the La Crosse Community Theater, tonight was the opening night for their production of The Odd Couple. This comedic play follows the story of two recently divorced men who become roommates. The show runs tonight through Sunday and then next Thursday through Sunday. The Sunday shows start at 2 p.m. All other shows begin at 7:30. Tickets range from $12 to $37. You can purchase those in person at the box office or on the La Crosse Community Theater's website. We'll have those links on our digital platforms. A judge overseeing the 2020 election interference case in Georgia decides if prosecutor Fani Willis can stay on the case. His ruling and why he says a member of the prosecution had to withdraw.
Introducing Ultimate Precision LLC, your trusted partner for precision craftsmanship. From interior to exterior, our expert painters bring life to your vision with impeccable precision. Our masonry and building restoration team breathes new life into the old, preserving history for generations to come. We're the masters of tuck pointing, securing your structure's integrity, one brick at a time. Ultimate Precision LLC, where craftsmanship meets perfection. We're here to deliver the ultimate precision.
Let's create your dream home at our area's only home show from the La Crosse Area Builders Association. The only home show where you'll meet over 100 businesses ready to make your home remodel dreams happen. Basement to roof, front yard to back. The only home show with Friday date night, Saturday community day, and Sunday family day. Details are at labahomeshow.com. The LABA Home Show, sponsored by XL Energy and Olson Solar Energy, March 22nd through the 24th at the Onalaska Omni Center.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the Turbo Max engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now.
Get $2,750 cash allowance, plus $2,250 trade assistance on Silverado LTZ and High Country models when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Or during Chevy truck season, get as low as 0.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups.
A special prosecutor in former President Trump's election interference case in Georgia has resigned. Nathan Wade had been romantically involved with Fulton County DA Fani Willis, and the judge overseeing the case ruled one of them had to go. Willie James Inman has the latest from Washington.
The judge in former President Donald Trump's Georgia election interference trial ruled that either Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis or Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade had to quit the case because the two had previously been involved in a romantic relationship. Hours later, Wade tendered his resignation. In a letter to Willis, he said he was exiting the case, quote, in the interest of democracy and dedication to the American public, and to move this case forward as quickly as possible.
It means the case goes from almost impossible going to trial before November to actually impossible to go to trial before November.
Former President Trump hailed the move on Truth Social, calling Wade a disgrace. Judge Scott McAfee did not find that the relationship amounted to a conflict of interest, but he did say the allegations created an appearance of impropriety.
Let's think about finding a juror that's never heard of and doesn't have an impression of the former president. Now we have an additional layer, which is ensuring that the jury can look not at Fani Willis and what they think of her, and not at the former president and what they personally think of him, but on the specific facts alleged and the applicable law here.
In another criminal case facing Trump, a New York judge issued a 30-day delay in a trial involving alleged falsified records and payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. The delay comes after Trump's attorney said they only recently began receiving more than 100,000 pages of documents from a previous federal investigation. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
Trump is charged in 4 criminal cases as he tries to unseat President Biden in November. Measles cases in the U.S. are on the rise. This year, we've already seen as many cases as all of last year. More in just a bit.
We got a windy Saturday, but a cold St. Patrick's Day, and that continues into next week. I'll time out how cold we'll get and what those wind chills will look like. All that coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
At Bygoff and Rohde, we know reputation is important, and it can affect your case's outcome. If you want your case to be taken seriously, you need lawyers who are taken seriously. Bygoff and Rohde, serious injuries need serious lawyers.
We forge steel bars that hold up bridges, propel ships, and send rockets into space.
But for years, China's been lowballing their prices, so it's been tough to compete.
We can't let China steal Wisconsin jobs, so I wrote a law to require American infrastructure projects use American iron and steel.
Tammy Baldwin got President Trump to sign her Made in America bill.
And then she got President Biden to make it permanent.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
Tammy Baldwin has our back.
Of course, the GMC Terrain offers all-wheel drive mode. What about Supernova mode or Weekend Warrior mode? You don't see that everyday mode. How about out of the office mode? Or even...
Are you out of your mind?
Mode. Want a mode for everything? GMC Terrain. Get 0.9% APR plus $1,500 purchase cash on 2024 GMC Terrain models.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
Must have been hard to adjust with everything going on.
Didn't know how to air your grievances.
Maybe things got too heated.
Or the cost of running was too high.
All right, I did it. Okay? I don't know what I'm doing. I need an expert.
I've heard all I needed to. Great job, Brooke. Read him his rights.
You have the right to a great company with over 50 years of combined experience.
That's just a matter of conditioning.
G&T, closing the case on all your heating and air conditioning needs.
There's never been a better time to enjoy quality Flex Steel furniture than right now during the Flex Steel factory authorized sale at Drury's in Fountain. You'll save on the latest casual sofas, chairs that say take me home, stunning sectionals, even luxurious leather sofas and recliners. Every Flex Steel style is included in your choice of over 2,000 designer fabrics and leathers, all at the best prices of the year. Unlimited choices, big savings, and special 12-month interest-free financing. It's happening now at Drury's in Fountain.
Is your personal injury lawyer trying to sell you a settlement that you don't think is fair? You need a lawyer who won't settle your case just to move on to the next one. Get the full compensation you deserve. Get Bygoff and Rohde.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Measles cases in the U.S. have reached a troubling benchmark. The CDC has reported 58 confirmed cases in 17 states. That's as many as all of last year. The most recent outbreak happened in Chicago with 12 cases this year. However, back in 2019, more than 1,200 cases were reported across 31 states. That was the most since the year 1992. Well, I'm sure a bunch of you want to be celebrating St. Patrick's Day this weekend. The parade in downtown La Crosse on Saturday. Sunday, though, going to be a chilly one. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Greg Barnhart for your latest forecast.
Yeah, definitely going to be, tomorrow's going to be the wind for the parade. That's going to be the big story with that wind coming out of the west behind the front. And then the cold temperatures for St. Patrick's Day, that's going to be the story too, along with the wind chills. So that's your temperatures tomorrow. 50s, if you're lucky, earlier in the day, we'll get the 50s. Most places will probably be in the 40s and then fall in the afternoon. And Sunday, it's the 30s. And really, it's the chilly conditions, cold conditions. That is below average temperatures. Overnight, actually, it's as you wake up tomorrow morning, still mild as the front's going to be coming through. But the cloud cover and the winds are going to keep the temperatures in the 40s for most locations. We'll climb those temperatures back up by noon. I think a lot of the high temperatures will be around noon or maybe about 1 and then start falling in the afternoon. There is a little bit of a shot that we might see a few showers here and there. Not a lot. You might see a sprinkle or flurries, especially further north you go. Otherwise, most areas will stay dry, just on and off cloud cover, and of course the wind will be the story. Then as we go in the afternoon, evening, we'll see the winds continue. We'll see more clearing skies, cloud cover here and there. Once again, temperatures falling in the 40s. And then for the Saturday evening, that's when you're going to start feeling that wind chill more as the temperatures drop back into the 30s Wind chills will be far lower than that too, so that's the big story. Other story, once again, the winds 15 to 20 in the morning. We'll probably see 20 to 25 potentially at higher elevations, open areas. We'll see that in the afternoon with gusts up to 30 or 35 at times. They'll decrease a little bit for Saturday evening, but they're not going to really drop off that much overnight Saturday into Sunday. And the wind chill, yeah, you come by Saturday evening, you're going to start feeling it in the 20s to teens, but then come St. Patrick's Day morning, that's when we're going to be in the single digits. In fact, some areas might get close to 0 in certain areas, but it will improve a little bit for the day, but otherwise single digits to teens, so it's going to be quite a bit of cold temperatures and the wind chill as you go through St. Patrick's Day. And these temperatures actually continue through Monday too. We'll see below average through Monday, that means 30s. But as we approach spring, which happens, late on Tuesday, we're going to start temperatures coming back up in the 40s, potentially some 50s by Wednesday. And then towards the second half of next week, if you got any plans going towards that, there is potential that we're going to see more active weather. We got kind of a split flow going here, so we're going to have 2 systems come through towards the end of the week, potentially one south, one to the north. Now, whether these merge and combine or they stay separate, we get some snow or rain, or we just miss everything, still yet to be determined, but it is looking more active for Thursday, Friday, and potentially next weekend too. So something to keep in mind of, and we'll track that as we get further and closer to the event. But for tonight, just cloud cover really is going to keep those temperatures up in the 40s. Waking up, you'll start feeling that wind, but it won't be that cold really tomorrow morning. Temperatures overall tomorrow, more 40s, near 50. The winds will be the story, especially in the afternoon to the evening hours. And then as we go into Sunday, that's when the cold temperatures really start coming into play, and the wind chill for St. Patrick's Day, and that'll continue into Monday. Less wind on Monday. We have spring coming in Tuesday. We warm up, and then for the second half, it gets a little bit more active, and then we'll kind of time that out as we get closer to the event. But yeah, definitely prepare for some chilly conditions coming.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Coming up next in sports, we got action on the wrestling mat. UW La Crosse had 5 guys reaching the national quarterfinal round. See who made it to the semis. Cade is next.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, with 6 locations of fun.
It's spring bonus season. Time to take control of your spring in a new Ford SUV. Get started with exclusive spring bonus offers at your local Northland Ford dealers. Then own the season behind the wheel of your new Ford. Whether you're looking for new adventures or dominating the day-to-day, there's a Ford SUV waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Get in the driver's seat today. Now, get a Ford Edge or Explorer with 1.9% financing for 66 months, plus $3,000 flex by cash, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
So, all of us are here to talk about trading. Right now at US Cellular, you can get a new phone without having to trade in your old one.
Trade you my PB&J for that phone.
No, kid, you don't have to trade. See, $830 off any phone at US Cellular. No trade-in needed.
You drive a hard bargain. Boom. Chocolate milk.
You don't have to trade.
I'll take the chocolate milk.
Okay.
Get $830 off any phone. No trade-in needed. US Cellular. Built for us.
Searching for gold at the end of the rainbow? Well, you can find it here at the King Furniture St. Patrick's Day sale. Get Shamrock with savings up to 60% off, plus 0% free financing, recliners, sofas, sectionals, and more. It's all here and it's all in stock and ready to be delivered. Plus, shop special savings in our incredible Lazy Boy Showcase. Let the shenanigans begin at the King Furniture St. Patrick's Day sale. Don't miss it.
Whether you're looking for a lake home, a second home, or your first home, let Town & Country Housing introduce you to quality living in our factory-built homes. Town & Country Housing has homes that will meet your style and budget. Tour our model homes to see how spacious and grand living can be when you let us reinvent your space. Our homes are built with energy efficiency in mind and environmentally friendly products. You pick your dream home, and we take care of the rest. Your dream home is waiting. Come personalize your amenities and start living your best life. Town & Country Housing, Chippewa Falls.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Cade Overton.
Welcome to News 8 Now Sports. We had a big afternoon of basketball. The Badgers playing in the Big Ten tournament and the West Salem Panthers in action at the Boys State basketball tournament for the 3rd straight year. For the first time, they're at state in the Division II level up against the 3-time defending state champs, Pewaukee. And Nick Janikowski came out on fire, goes off the glass for two. Pirates up early. Few minutes later, it's Janowski again. Step back, fade away, knocks it down. The Nebraska commit would finish with a 28-point triple-double. Panthers trying to stay in it. Tamarian Henderson goes to the corner. One more pass to Joe Sullivan. That three-pointer is good. Panthers still trail. Henderson not giving in. Drives, spins, fade away. That's good for two. Panthers cut into the lead, but Pewaukee just too much for West Salem to overcome. Janowski spins, uses his offhand, gets it to fall. The Pirates take down the Panthers 89-69, and West Salem season comes to an end. Big Ten tournament quarterfinals. Badgers taking on Northwestern. First half, Max Klesmit open for three. That falls. Badgers take the lead. Later, now down 9, but they would start to heat up. Steven Crowell for three. That finds the bottom of the net, cuts the lead to 6. Later in the half, Badgers now up. A.J. Storr drives up the middle, splits the defense, lays it in for 2 of his 30 points on the day. Second half now, Northwestern keeping it close, but Storr, step back 3, gets it to go. And then 60 seconds later, John Blackwell working the screen, feeds it inside to Crowell, who throws down the two-handed slam. And Wisconsin would start to pull away. Again, it's Crowell from deep. Another three-pointer. Badgers get the win 67-61. They'll face Purdue in the semifinals tomorrow at noon. Tonight, we also had the NCAA D3 wrestling quarterfinals. 5 UWL Eagles looking to clinch a spot into the semifinals. Let's go to the Lacrosse Center. A lot of good wrestlers in action, including UWL's Tyler Gable. A second seed at 149. Scoreless match in the first period. Gable in on the shot at the edge of the mat. Gets him down, but he needs hip control, and he gets it. Gable would dominate 12-3 the final. He's on to the semifinals. Then at 157, defending NCAA champ Nolan Hurdle in action, and he makes quick work of his opponent, racking up the back points. He would get the second period tech fall 17-1. He's now 2 wins away from going back-to-back. Next at 165, Noah Leesgang took third place a year ago, up 1 going into the third period, and Leesgang would ride him out the entire way, getting the win 2-0 and is moving on. 197 pounds, Ben Kaczynski came out on fire, up big in the second period, but you got to be careful. Kaczynski gets caught, goes straight to his back, and gets pinned. A heartbreaker as he falls to the lower bracket. And lastly, a heavyweight, Michael Douglas trying to make it 4 Eagles in the semifinals. First period, Douglas with the single leg. Opponent staying up, but Douglas finally takes him down with the trip. They call it the takedown. He takes the lead, and his opponent would hurt his shoulder as Douglas moves on. Semifinals tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. The Vikings are making a move, and not in free agency. Earlier today, the Vikings acquired the number 23 overall pick in this year's draft in a trade with the Texans. The Vikings gave up a second-round pick, a sixth-round pick, and a second-round pick in next year's draft to make it happen. But now, with 2 first-round picks, it'll be interesting to see what Minnesota does. Maybe move up in the draft to take a quarterback. I guess we'll find out on draft day. Bad baseball news. Devin Williams out for around 3 months due to 2 stress fractures in his back. Williams said he pitched with some discomfort last season, but during this spring it was too much. The good news is the current belief in the clubhouse is he will make a full recovery and return around June. But now the big question is who's going to take his spot in the meantime. They've got a couple of guys who could fill the role, but it can't be just one guy. They're going to have to do a team effort to fill his spot. And really, I'm just going to miss his changeup. The airbender, just such a nice pitch. Stay with us. More news after the break.
It's spring bonus season. Time to take control of your spring in a new Ford SUV. Get started with exclusive spring bonus offers at your local Northland Ford dealers. Then own the season behind the wheel of your new Ford. Whether you're looking for new adventures or dominating the day-to-day, there's a Ford SUV waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Get in the driver's seat today. Now, get a Ford Edge or Explorer with 1.9% financing for 66 months, plus $3,000 flex by cash, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
The number of people getting ripped off by scammers is off the charts these days. So if someone calls you or approaches you on social media and starts asking you for money, there's a 100% chance you're being scammed. So if you get these calls, hang up. And if you're ever tempted to follow through, please call me. I'll walk you through the situation. We could potentially save you thousands of dollars.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. Moving piles of earth, towing up to 4,000 pounds, cutting millions of blades of grass. We could keep trying to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a deer. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
If you're ready for a new kitchen, then you owe it to yourself to visit the board store during the 2024 Early Bird Home Show. This is the design center where our designers put it all together for you. Visit our flooring showroom, see all of the possibilities. Visit our kitchen showroom and see all of the styles that are available to you. Then return here and put in your countertops, put in your fixtures, put in your knobs, and design that kitchen that's just right for you during the Early Bird Home Show, only at the board store. Call or visit soon.
Get an 11% rebate on your entire kitchen upgrade at Menards. Clearview Cabinetry is flexible by design, so you can go from doors to drawers for storage that works at every stage. With the styles that are so easy to update, you can do it in a snap, meaning you don't have to remodel your space to make it work even better for you. These LaHome kitchen cabinets are $33.79 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
If you think playing with dogs or looking at their adorable videos on social media helps you decompress, you might be onto something. A small study published Wednesday found that interacting with dogs might strengthen the brain waves associated with both rest and relaxation. The study involved 30 healthy people with an average age of 28 years old. They each engaged in multiple activities with a dog, like playing, feeding, grooming, hugging, and walking. Study authors measured their brain waves during each activity and then asked participants questions about their emotional state. The changes in brain waves indicated heightened attention, concentration, and relaxation. I'm all for that study. Greg's going to have one final look at your St. Patrick's Day weekend forecast right after this.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $40 you spend this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's a 25-cent fuel saver for every $40. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
What I love about T-Mobile is that just about anywhere you go, you're going to have coverage.
Where I live is a rural area. The coverage has been awesome.
Reliable coverage is super important for me, for my business.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Try T-Mobile's network free for 3 months. Your phone, our network, no strings.
You made a cow.
Actually, it's a piggy bank. My inspiration to start saving.
How about a more solid way to save?
I'm listening.
Well, BMO helps get your savings habit into shape with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward?
And there's a cash bonus when you open a new checking account to get you started.
Wow. Anything you can't do?
Mugs.
BMO.
Hang on tight, Wisconsin, because fun just got a lot faster. It's Fast Play from the Wisconsin Lottery, an all-new style of lotto games that combine instant wins with the progressive jackpot. Playing is easy at any lottery retailer. Just print, play, and know if you're a winner instantly. The progressive jackpot starts at $10,000 and grows with each ticket sold. The share of the jackpot increases with the price of the ticket. Fast Play is available now, only at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
News 8 Now and Dairyland Power Cooperative present the Community Calendar.
UWL is proud to host the 2024 NCAA Division III Wrestling National Championships, March 15th and 16th at the La Crosse Center. This two-day event features 180 participants from 60 schools across the country. Get your green on for the 16th Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade in downtown La Crosse, March 16th, starting at noon. Bring a non-perishable food item for the Hunger Task Force.
For more information on these events, or if you'd like to submit an event, visit news8000.com.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $40 you spend this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's a 25-cent fuel saver for every $40. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
All right, we're looking at really basically windy conditions tomorrow. Temperatures in the upper 40s to near 50, but that'll come really early in the day, probably around noon, and then kind of falling in the afternoon or steady. There could be a shower or two, especially north of Eau Claire, but otherwise the wind is going to be the main story as you go throughout the day. And then the wind chill becomes the big story as we go into Sunday, 37 below average for Monday. Spring comes late Tuesday and gets maybe a little active as we go to the second half of next week.
All right, bundle up Sunday, everybody.
definitely.
Enjoy St. Patrick's Day. Have a great weekend.